I wasted $1,400 on fake magnesium before a doctor told me the truth. Check your bottle right now. Why I take magnesium and nothing happened, and the industry scandal keeping billions of women exhausted. So first things first, I read this headline and instantly I'm like, this is pretty good right here. So they're saying I wasted $1,400 on fake magnesium. So that gets some curiosity for people who use magnesium and magnesium uses. What do people use magnesium for? Maintain normal nerve and muscle function. I'm pretty sure they take this when you take it when you're sick or something, right? Healthy cardiovascular system. They're targeting women here, obviously. Millions of women exhausted. So magnesium, there's tons of like supplement pills that you can find in store, and I'm sure there's a lot that are magnesium and that don't work, just flat out. I'm sure people have reviews like magnesium didn't work, Reddit. Let's see, why doesn't magnesium work? I'm disappointed with magnesium. Magnesium doesn't help. So this is clearly a problem that they're going after with a very interesting advertorial heading right here. Their headline, I wasted $1,400 on fake magnesium. So instantly, if you're a woman using magnesium, you're going to think, okay, this person spent a lot more money than I spent on magnesium. Maybe I spent $200 on magnesium and no pill actually worked or no supplement worked. And then they include authority, which is doctor told me the truth. And this is getting their curiosity because they want to know, okay, this person spent more on magnesium than me and a doctor told him this worked or whatever, or told them the truth, so I want to find out, right? That's going on in their subconscious mind. And then there's this thing, it says check your bottle right now. This, like, instantly when I read it, it just gave me that feeling that this is not a sales page, that is just an article, because like check your bottle right now, because it's like, is there something wrong with my bottle? And that just gets like, it's kind of like a hack. Like, it reminds me of those social media videos where they're looking on how to get discounts, right? So there's people who they're like, get this Costco deal, it's only it's on sale for this much, or get this Panda Express deal, or get this here's a hack how to get a McDonald's burger for $1 or a free Popeyes chicken. So just including this, check your bottle right now, instantly, it's like, it gives that kind of vibe, like, okay, this is a hack, like, I want to read more into it. And it feels a lot more like an article, which is what you want when you're writing your advertorials. It feels like a unbiased review. Okay, so they have by Jessica Palmer, and then they have this little comparison right here, SP Nutrition. I just have the product instantly like that. So go grab your magnesium bottle right now. Look at the front. Magnesium complex. Looks premium. See it? Magnesium as magnesium oxide. You've been scammed. Okay, so this is actually really, really good right here. It says, go grab your magnesium bottle right now. This is actually a really good first line. And then it goes into the story, which matches the headline. Look at the front, magnesium glycinate, right? And then it talks about the ingredient. It looks like they've done their research, right? They're saying magnesium glycinate or magnesium complex with high absorption plastered all over it. They probably did their research, finding out, what majority of magnesium supplement bottles have. And, just having this as like a trust kind of piece is just so good. Like, this is trust without even showing a person with a hand in their bottle. This is like trustworthy because it's like, if this is on your bottle and you see it, like, oh, my bottle has this, right? And then my bottle has magnesium as magnesium oxide on the ingredients, right? So this just piques their interest. They're saying, if this is what their bottle says, you've been scammed, right? And this is like, if I was on magnesium, I want to see like, was I scammed, or does this not even work? If I'm using magnesium to treat something, or for a specific purpose, which of course people know the purpose why they're taking magnesium. The 2.8 billion magnesium scam, no one's talking about. Your body absorbs 4%, other 96%. Your intestines put water in, diarrhea, cells. Fill bottles with oxide while printing magnesium glycinate. They know what they're doing. Oxide is cheap. Real magnesium that actually works costs 10 times more to manufacture. Okay, so they're calling out that people who sell magnesium pills actually sell oxide, which is dirt cheap. So they're cheaping out on magnesium. It actually costs 10 times more to manufacture. So this is really easy to understand. You've been scammed. I mean, like magnesium oxide, that oxide, your body absorbs 4%. Okay. I'll say your body, I would kind of make this a bit easier to understand. Your body only absorbs 4% of the magnesium. Because I kind of got lost right here. It will never help you sleep through the night because it never gets in your cells. I feel like they probably should be a bit more, like, less specific, because I'm sure people take magnesium for different purposes. Unless they were, had an advertorial talking about sleep. Oh, actually, never mind. The industry scandal keeping millions of women exhausted. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily for sleep. I mean, they have sleep right here as one of the benefits. I guess they're focusing on women taking magnesium for sleep. I fell for this scam for 3 years. My name is Jessica Palmer. I spent $4,400. This goes along with the headline. 10 different brands. Okay. My kids. I'd lose it. Okay, talking about the after effects, right? Forgetting how I was saying mid-sentence I worked. 3 coffees for functionality. I became the mother I didn't want to be. Right? Talking about friend's barbecue, husband, which is realistic. They got their images here. Obviously, AI generated. They could definitely do better. I mean, you can find realistic images of people on Pinterest, which is very good for getting images. But also AI, like, just use Nano Banana, you generate it easy. Right? A realistic image of a woman. And like a doctor. But, I mean, this image works. He showed me a private medical form. Only verified physicians can ask it. Thread after thread. This is actually really interesting. Typically, like, someone would say, oh, I saw like a Reddit form, which does work, but a private medical form, okay, it's a lot more interest. It makes sense too. Patient says, magnesium isn't working. I checked the bottle. Always oxide disguised as glycinate. Criminal. Okay, this is actually really good. Like, little line right here. Front label, high absorption magnesium complex, but legal scam. Okay, industry built on fake supplements and exhausted women who don't read fine print. Doctors sharing real results. Switch patient to actual buy glycinate. So it's kind of like a behind the scenes type of document. I seen this person, I mean, he was using AI to generate this advertorial, and like he used AI to prompt AI to create like an advertorial, and literally there was the AI just made this like fake like document, like fake legal document that they used it and said like, oh, this is a secret document like that only like officials have access to, that says like these kind of reports, right? And that would kind of could potentially get you into legal trouble if you're scaling, of course. But that was actually a really good kind of idea. Like, you can think of ways how to present information and make it significantly more appealing to continue reading. Because the more they continue reading, the more likely they are to buy, and more likely they are to pay a higher price. The only form that lets you sleep through the night. Okay, magnesium biglycinate. I explained it like I was 5 years old. These guys know that they should write their advertorials like you're talking to a 5-year-old. You know, that's what Alex Hormozy always says. That's what, you know, a lot of great successful people say, right? You want it easy to understand. This isn't the magnesium that failed you. The biglycinate difference, why this changes everything. Okay, they're talking about the actual product, and they got a lot of testimonial images right here. Obviously, a bunch use AI to generate. And the 2-week transformation pattern, the first night changed everything, 2 gummies at 9 p.m. I mean, really, the most hardest part in your advertorial is the very beginning to get them to read the rest of it. So these right here is just a typical advertorial, like first night, first time in 3 years, I slept straight through the night. They're talking about each day's going by and, you know, how they feel after it. And then, you know, trust, and then stock warning. I see this image all the time in advertorials. Guys, you can get some other new images, okay? So, I mean, you can just literally, the most important part is the beginning of the advertorial. That's what you want to focus on. And everything else after that, you could just keep it like a typical advertorial, right? Keep it simple, going through the discovery, going through, you know, the experience with the product, you know, trust, and then leading to the CTA. You could definitely make it better and more focused towards your exact prospect that you're targeting. But generally speaking, these guys did a really, really good job in the beginning of the advertorial, right? The first kind of paragraph, the headline, they did really well with that. 3 choices facing you right now. Path 1, you close this page. Path 2, you check if it's still available. 3 choices, they only put 2 choices. Oh, this is actually really interesting right here. Tonight, you take your magnesium, wake up at 2 a.m. again. Tomorrow, you're exhausted, snapping at your kids. Next week, still Googling why magnesium doesn't work for me. Next month, still exhausted. 6 months from now, you know, still the same result. This is really good for framing, right? If you frame kind of what the next few months will look like for your prospect, it will, in their mind, subconsciously, it will just tell them, you know, do I really want to be like this? Like, is this true or is it not true? You know, and of course, they're the ones who've experienced the magnesium that's not working. So they're going to think, okay, you know what? Why don't I try this? Tonight, you take 2 SP Nutrition gummies at 9 p.m. I mean, they should say, as soon as it gets shipped, like let's say they have shipping for 3 days. In 3 days, you take your S2 SP Nutrition gummies, and then this, and then that. Sleep through the night, first time in months. You wake up rested. So this copy is actually really good. If you want to visit this page, you know, you got the link right here. But this copy is actually really good. They've obviously used AI with it because they said snapping at your kids over spilled cereal again. They already mentioned that earlier. They definitely use AI to generate this. Let me just paste it in a generator. Obviously they edited it, so it might not show. Because I check advertorials all the time. Even the ones that I make, a lot of them will just say that it's human. I mean, everyone uses AI now. Everyone uses AI. 15%. I mean, this is really good. You can get stuff like this level human written, but you got to make sure you feed it, like you prompt it correctly and make your edits. These guys obviously edited it to make sure that it was good. But, you know, keep that in mind when you're using AI. Like, you're using these same things over and over again, like snapping at your kids over spilled cereal. They mentioned that earlier, that same exact phrasing and wording. They probably use AI because AI does that sometimes. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure it comes genuine and the wording just makes sense. And then they got their CTA here. So overall, this is a really good advertorial, especially for this product. I mean, it's a supplement, but 56 cents per night. I would probably include that in the framing in this advertorial right here. Like, they can put 56 cents per night, something like that. And I mean, they could even include it in the story. I paid 56 cents per night versus the average of $5 a pill, if cost is a thing here. But I mean, if they're talking about sleep, they could throw in potentially other things that women have done for sleep, but it looks like it's just generally talking about magnesium and how it's a scam, right? And the scam that no one's talking about, the whole magnesium industry, everything. So they have a clear framing as, the industry, it was the industry's fault, it wasn't your fault, which is actually really important. If you're blaming your customers, they're not going to read the copy, their ego is going to hit, and it's not the best. So you don't want to blame your customer. If you're going to blame someone else that's believable, okay? And it's believable to say you've been scammed by the industry, because a lot of people, let's say most of your customers, if you're running a D2C brand, right? You're running an e-com brand straight to consumers. These guys are average people, right? And the average person, they're very aware of rich people, and it's pretty common to think like, oh, the rich are scamming us, or the rich are, doing this. So kind of making it seem like, they choose profit over your sleep, the whole industry, and they're like scamming you. It makes sense to them because that's what they want to believe, right? That's what people want to believe. People want to believe, oh, they're scamming me. People want to believe that it's someone else's fault and not their fault. So keep that in mind when you're writing your advertorials, okay? Believability and making the story make sense, and actually framing it as it was the industry scandal and it's not your fault, right? And also, you can take notes on these guys' headline. Their headline is really good, and they clearly planned the advertorial before writing it. They planned to have like fake magnesium as the main kind of story, and then supporting it with the industry scamming people, okay? So that's the kind of concepts that you want to come in, especially when you're selling to a, I guess, saturated market, or a market with a lot of competitors, higher sophistication market. When there's more competitors, people have tried all these alternatives. You want to come up with angles like these. And that's kind of what's going to take your advertorial to the next level. It's your angle and how you execute it when writing your advertorial. You see this kind of section right here? Really good example. I've seen so many advertorials. Really, really good. Right here, they've done their research, and their headline, they've done their research too. So, keep that in mind when you're writing your advertorials for your own brands. And if you need an advertorial, feel free to message me on X. I help e-com brands build advertorials for them. And yeah, that's basically it.